What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Joe Kilgallon Podcast, aka Kilgallon's Pub. How are we doing? How are we doing on this fine Wednesday morning? Gonna bang out a quick one for you, and apologies. Apologies go all around for not having an episode late last week like I should have had. My mom came to town on Thursday, holiday shit, and before I knew it, there was no time to put out a new podcast, and I'm sorry. Slacking a little bit on my end, but as always, I want to thank the Patreon subscribers. Gave you guys a bonus episode last week. You'll be getting a bonus episode as well. Tomorrow it'll be dropping. So thanks for that. Also, sign up for the Patreon because my latest comedy special will be coming out sometime in May, and you'll get mentioned in the special thanks. All the Patreons get mentioned in the special thanks of the video. So that's pretty sweet. And I recorded a set last week, or was it 2 weeks ago? I had just jumping right into it, everybody. If you're just checking out the podcast for the first time, welcome. I'm a stand-up comedian who likes to rant for about 20 to 30 minutes every week. I did a set on, I think it was 2 weeks ago, April 1st, I want to say. And it was my first day taking blood pressure medication. And early side effects were like exhaustion and just feeling a little loopy. Other than that, no side effects. It's just until your body adjusts, you know? So I was on it that first day, or my second day. And I went to perform, and I was like, I was weird. So it created like a weird set, but I just watched the replay of the set, and it's like a fun set. Because you could tell I'm just up there fucking around in a sense. Like I had no sense of direction on where the set should go. So there's some cool crowd work interaction. There's some fun riffing. And then I throw in a couple actual written bits too for the kids. You know, you got to do that shit for the kids. All right. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you had a great holiday weekend. If you celebrate, if you don't, I hope it was still a good weekend for you. I had myself a pretty solid weekend. Some fun shit to talk about as per usual. Let's see. Do I want to really just jump right into it? No. Well, let's talk about Easter a little bit. I hope it was solid enough for you. Easter doesn't seem like it's supposed to be the biggest as far as like importance of the holidays in both the Catholic and Christian churches. You know, it's the day Jesus came back and was like, miss me? I'm right back here, motherfuckers. Now, I don't know. What do you think? What would he have said? How's there not been like a movie about Jesus's life in which when he reveals that he's risen again, like he's got to say a badass line, you know, and all that cool action movies, you have a badass line when like the hero returns. Would he have just been like, miss me? Or like, where the fuck is Judas? Like, what would he say right away? What would the first words out of Jesus Christ's mouth be when they noticed he had risen? Now, I don't remember the story. I know he was crucified. That means nailed to a cross. That's very specific. And then 3 days later, which, by the way, the 3 days thing, a lot of people are like, when did he come back on a Monday then? Because Good Friday is when he died. Saturday, Sunday, that's 2 days, really. But they counted it as, it's someone explained to me about how back in the day they counted days differently, which means they counted them wrong. So he comes back Sunday, but maybe he comes back late Sunday. So people felt like, oh, it's been 3 days. What has been gone for 3 days? And they didn't have calendars back then. So he dies. Then they put him in this tomb, right? It was a desert, probably not good for burying. They probably didn't have cemeteries back then, with nice lawns. And then someone goes to check on the tomb, or did they walk by and be like, yo, who opened up JC's tomb? Well, that's just rude. The man just died, and people are already in there poking around. Well, let's get in there. Who's ever in there, we'll kick the riffraff out. Maybe it's some kids fucking around. They wanted to see a dead body. Ooh, we get it. We were children once. We know, So then they walk over there, and they just see, oh, he's not even in there. Where the fuck do you go? And then did they hear, oh, he's in the town square? They're like, well, let's get on these camels and head on by. And then Jesus was just talking like nothing happened, or was he just, dude? How pumped was he? Like, did he come back like he hit a game-winning shot? Did Jesus Christ show up and be like, fucking right here? You thought you could kill me? You thought you could kill Jesus Christ? Jesus Christ, you're stupid. You can't kill this. I'm the Son of God, motherfucker. Yeah, I could have come back immediately after you nailed me down. Like immediately, I could have been like, bam, I'm back. But I wanted to wait a little bit. I wanted you to think that you'd won. I wanted you to think that you'd actually got one over on me, right? Just when you're thinking, yo, you think you're tough shit? Think you're high and mighty? Bam, resurrected, motherfucker. Like, was he like that? Was he talking shit like he just won a championship? Because that'd be pretty cool. But you don't really hear about what was actually said. I gotta go. Next time I'm in a hotel, I gotta steal a Bible. And when I'm there, I'm going to look up if they've got the story about right when he came back. Like what was said. or people around the town. Was anyone in the town like, is that really Jesus? Because I saw him die. You know, a lot of people look like this. This is a pretty easy. He's got a common look for our times. You know, long hair, beard. He looks like a lot of us. Let's be frank, huh? Even hey Frank, actually, you look like him a little bit. We all, right? We're from the same region. A lot of people look alike. You know, like if Jesus was Irish, and you know he had your typical Irish looks, and was nailed to a cross on a Friday, came back on a Sunday, and be like, "Yo, I'm back." People would be like, "No, I saw you die. You're not Jesus. You're your cousin Seamus. You look just like him." As a matter of fact, the whole time we all look alike. Does anyone not notice this? Is there some inbreeding going on around here? Why do we all look so much alike? Holy shit. Like it'd be a different story altogether then. All right. That's my take on Easter. A lot of candy. It's another candy holiday, man. Been eating fucking Reese's peanut butter cup, the little egg ones all day long. What else have I been eating? Jelly beans. This is their time of year, jelly beans. They have no other time of year. If you are a jelly bean company, you need to make your bank fucking Easter time. Okay. You can't just be like, maybe someone will have a hankering in June. You know, if you're a jelly bean company. Do you think like maybe we could sneak into Halloween? We try to pull that shit off? No. You have one time a year to shine, and that's Easter. What a weird business. That's why there's only 2 jelly bean companies, right? Where there's Brock's. Starburst decided to diversify. They make a jelly bean now. And then I don't know what the other company is, but like you can't, like imagine if you were some 25-year-old with a business degree and you love jelly beans and you're like, I'm going to start my own jelly bean company. Everyone around you would be like, no, that's a really stupid idea. You have one time a year to sell your product. That's it. Why would you start such a company? Unless you're going to start all sorts of candies and jelly bean is just one of your divisions, right? And then you get the jelly bean manufacturing going around February to have it ready to ship out late March, early April, because, you know, Easter changes every year. Do my Jewish friends eat jelly beans for Passover or Seder? What's your day? What, like, you know, why do I want to know? I feel like I don't know of any name brand Jewish candies where they go nuts for on their high holy days. Something to think about. A lot of you know who've been listening to this podcast in years past, I'm not a chocolate bunny fan. It's too much chocolate. They're huge. What are you going to just eat a little at a time? Well, I ate the ear on Monday. I'm going to eat the left ear on Tuesday. Before you know it, you're eating Easter bunny dick. You're eating chocolate dick. A bunny's dick, too. Think about that, PETA. People are munching on bunny balls because you eventually got to get to that part of that bunny body. Again, way too much chocolate. It's an overkill. So, yeah, I mean, it's another candy holiday, essentially. The dinner is okay, right? People do different things. Some people like a nice Easter ham. Some people like a pot roast. Turkey, no. Turkey has Thanksgiving, and turkey even seeps into Christmas, which I like turkey. I'm a big fan of dumping gravy all over it. What other things? I'm trying to think of other dishes. Prime rib. I've had a prime rib on Easter before. That's actually a good one. I think I want to try to push that going forward because prime rib is one of those things that you like it a lot, but it doesn't have like its own staple. You know, like how often do you eat prime rib a year? Even if you like it a lot, you're not eating it more than 12 times. You're gonna have prime rib once a month. Seems like you're living quite the lavish lifestyle, aren't you? Good on you. So, all right, let's shift gears a little bit. Oh, fucking my desk isn't working, by the way, either. It's fucking annoying me. I have a desk that's supposed to go up and down. It's supposed to be a full-on standing desk. It only goes down now, and now I can't get it back up to the exact spot I want it to. So that's. You ever have one of those days where like nothing's working around you, and you just think to yourself, someone needs to get punched. Someone is doing this to me. There's someone pulling strings, and they need to get punched. But yeah, that's my one knock. I've had that, and you know, overall, things are going pretty good. Pretty good. I did a show on Saturday. It was a fun show. Got some shows this week. Went to the Cubs game Monday night. Saw them walk it off. Beautiful win. Nico Horner game-winning single in the 10th inning. I like, by the way, the new baseball rules. Awesome. So much better game. Let's go. I know some people were like, why are we trying to rush the game? They're not. What they're doing, Major League Baseball changed rules. There's a pitch clock and essentially a batter's clock, which is like keep your ass in the batter's box. And these new rules have sped up the game. Game times are way lower than they've been. But the thing is, they're back to the length of game that I fell in love with, that so many of us fell in love with. It really started in like the late, like 2007, 8, all the way through last year, where games became insanely long. 3.5 hour long games were the norm. 4 hour games wasn't even considered that crazy. It was too much. And even as a diehard baseball fan, there were times where I'm like, throw the fucking ball, dude. What are we waiting on? And so now they're making them play the way they played when they were kids until some fucking jerk off coach came along and said, take your time. Just hey, there's no shot clock in this game. Take your time. Step out of the box every time you need to. Collect yourself. Write a fucking note to a pen pal. Adjust your balls. There's no rush in this game. Like that, some coach did that. And every player around the fucking country was like, okay, I'll take my time. Brutal. How long high school baseball games got so long, I guarantee you it caused divorces. It did. It caused divorces. There were people who were like, I don't want to take my son to this anymore. And the other parent was like, well, he loves it though. And I'm like, well, he could love it with me being at home. Okay, why don't you video it and then show me the highlights later? Because I can't sit through this garbage anymore. I'm getting sunburned. Right? It's a lot. It's a lot. So I like baseball's new rules. It's bringing the game, like I said before, back to the way it used to be, right? They banned the shift a little bit, or just limited the shift. It's not a ban. You can still move around, but you have to be in certain zone. And it's creating more athleticism, more hits, more action. So yeah, I love it. I do. And I know there's some fans who are like, if you go to a game once a year and you're like, well, I want to soak it all in, get there early. Okay, get there early. I don't understand this idea of like games have to be 4 hours long because you only go to one a year. That's not my problem. They're trying to put out a better, more entertaining product. And the thing is, the NFL, NBA, NHL, they change rules all the time. The NFL especially. Fans get mad for a moment, then they get over it. Baseball fans, you are going to understand this is a much better deal. And most baseball fans I've come across are loving it because they're like, oh, this is great. I wish my dad was still alive. He would have loved this. 2 hour and 15-minute game. Oh, man, he would have loved this. Because my dad grew up watching in the 60s when the games were 2 hours and 15 minutes. When baseball was the number one sport in America. And it's not the biggest group of fans. I still think the majority of fans like the new changes, but it kills me that there are any fans out there who are so against this, where it's like all they're doing is trying to get the game times back to when everybody loved the sport. The sport is going down a bad path. The average baseball fan is like 62, right? That's not sustainable long term. We need to get young people back into the game. We need to get even casual adults back into the game, and putting out a more entertaining product because there's more action is better for the game. It does have it to a point though, where you do need to be a lot more locked in. And maybe that upsets people a little bit, but you don't have to be as locked in as you are other sports. I mean, really football is the sport you used to be the least locked in. May have a play, they stop, have a play, they stop. Soccer and hockey, you never know when they're going to score. So you do have to pay attention. You don't know when a goal's coming. Football, they're in the red zone. Let's hunker down and focus on this game right now. So it's a different situation. And basketball, they score every other play. So who gives a shit? All right. So Bud Light, everybody, or Anheuser-Busch. I don't know if regular Budweiser, I've heard Bud Light specifically, has upset a lot of people. They had like a transgender person. I don't know the person's name. And I'm saying person because you just say transgender person. I said it right the first time. That is a thing. Sometimes you do feel like you're saying the wrong shit sometimes, or you're going to say the wrong shit. But people know I'm a good guy. No ill will intended if I slip up on some words. And by the way, most people don't give a fuck. I have friends in that community. They only if you fuck up their pronouns and stuff like that, they only give a shit if they feel like it's intentional. Like if you say, what's a good example? Oh yeah, she's a good friend of mine. And then that person will be like, actually, in that situation, you'd say their fucking name. I'm trying to give an example in which you'd say someone's pronoun in front of them. I've never heard anyone call me he in front of me. They call me by my name. But yeah, so if you mess up and say her, they'll be like, actually, I go by he, him. Or they'll say I go by they, them. And then you say, oh, okay, my bad. I'll get it right the next time. They go, cool. It's that easy. The only time they get upset is when if they say, I go by they, them, and you go, yeah, well, fuck off. All right, you're a she, her, and I'm going to call you a she, her. All right, stop your shit. You know what I mean? Like, then they'll be like, all right, fuck you, piece of shit. Then it becomes a thing, So I don't know why everyone's acting like they're shoving pronouns down our fucking throats. I see it like when I hear that, I envision someone grabbing someone by the back of the head and being like, "You like these fucking pronouns? Eat them. Eat these pronouns. I got a he for you. I got a they for you. I got some big ones you don't even fucking know about now, you dumb motherfucker. Here you go." Right? Like, it's not happening. The people who complain the most are people just fucking angry and unhappy with their lives. Percentage wise, the average person doesn't even encounter non-binary people during their day. If you live in a major city, yes, but it kills me when I see people who are like, I live in Franksville, Tennessee, and I can't believe this is going on right now. And okay, well, just don't associate with those people if you don't want to. It's that simple. All right. But you're going out of your way to be a cunt. So now you're going to get some backlash. I think they want that. I don't know. I don't know how you could consistently be like, I do feel like it's the wrong side of history too. Yeah. I was watching X-Men, the animated series, showing my 3-year-old son that. And I remember thinking, man, the parallels are all there. Because there were people chanting no more mutants. And he's like, who are the mutants? I'm like, the mutants are the good guys. Although some of them are bad. Just like people. Some of them are good and some of them are bad. See, it's kind of a thing like that, right? But you don't want to be against the mutants, right? Just because they're different. You don't hate someone because they're different. I was trying to teach them life lessons there. So I don't understand like the hate. And we've seen it throughout history. We've seen people look back and be like, I can't believe people were like this then. I can't believe people were like that. That's going to be the next thing. 100 years from now, people are going to be like, why were they such dicks? Oh, they didn't like them? Well, then don't hang out with them. No one's making you. It reminds me of when I used to try to get my friends to go to this one bar for $1 beers. They were always like, it's a douchebag bar. And I'm like, it's a huge bar and there's 12 of us. We'll take over our own little section and enjoy the cheap ass drinks. Like, yeah, but I don't really like the beer. Dude, do you think when you go to a bar, you have to walk in and shake everyone's hand? Hey, good to meet you. Good to see you. No, that's not how that works. There's a group of us. We'll go in. We'll find a table or two. We'll get our drinks and talk amongst ourselves. You don't have to, that's my point on that. So Kid Rock and who else? Fucking Travis Tritt or one. I don't know. One of the Travises, one of the Tritts. Probably a Hank is upset. Who else is out there? What are their names in country music? Yeah, they're upset because Bud Light had like a supportive beer can for transgender people. And I don't know, that made them very mad. Like, I'm not drinking Bud Light anymore. And it makes me laugh because, they're doing the whole go woke, go broke thing, which is statistically not true. Remember, Nike was the first to go woke. They had record profits last year. It just makes me laugh though, because it's like on one side of it, they're going to people being like, well, I got to support them now because Bud Light, if you're on the side that's supportive of transgender rights, are you thinking I got to start drinking Bud Light now so their sales don't take a hit? That way other companies still have the courage to do the right thing. And now you're thinking to yourself, fuck, I have to drink Bud Light now. God damn it. How dedicated to the cause am I that I have to drink one of the worst beers of all time? Like, it is, I hate Bud Light. Regular Budweiser I'm cool with, but Bud Light in particular is horrible. And I know a lot of people don't like Miller Lite, but I first tried Bud Light, I think, underage, and was like, this is, am I a person who doesn't like beer? And it's like, no, I just don't like Bud Light. But Miller Lite is fantastic compared to Bud Light. They're supposedly the same style of beer, but they're really not. But yeah, I just think to myself, man, there are some people out there. We are going to see some people, some liberal white people walking out of liquor stores with cases of Bud Light, and they're not happy about it. They're not. That's something they're going to give away. That's going to be in their fridge for a year. People are going to come over and they're going to be like, yeah, beer? Yeah, there's Bud Light there. And they're like, I'll just have a water. That's fine. Thanks. Fuck, I cannot get rid of this shit. That's what's going to happen. But I don't understand. There are videos, and this happens all the time. This happens when with Nike it happened, some other companies it happened. People get mad because the company supports something they don't support. So then they buy the product and burn it or dump it. So they showed a guy buying Bud Light just so he could dump it out. Like, well, you still give them their money, dumbass. I don't like, what the fuck were you trying to prove? And they're doing it thinking like, all right, I'm going to take it to them. This will show them not to fucking support shit I don't like. And I'm like, isn't that cancel culture? I thought that was cancel culture, what you're doing. I thought you didn't like that. That's the thing, hypocrisy. And I give hypocrisy on both sides. I fucking do. I give them shit, both sides I do. But the hypocrisy from the people who are mad about supporting, the LGBTQ community is very fucking funny to me. You're trying to cancel, and by the way, every beer, they're all like, we're supporting Coors now. Coors have had rainbow cans, have had rainbow stuff. They've had floats at Gay Pride Parade. Coors is donating money to gay rights groups. So it's like, where are you going to go next? The list is pretty big. Pretty much every major beer has supported Pride Month, right? It's the month of June. Guess what? Gay people like drinking. So it makes sense for them not to be included in that. And they probably are, some of them are good people who are like, yeah, we have gay employees and we support that. Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we in 2023 support that? It's so bizarre to me that it definitely feels like we're going backwards in a lot of areas. It's really stupid. How do they not see that? You can't see. You have to look. You have to want to see, actually. You have to want to see. And it's the same with the left. When the left does that stupid shit where they go, as a guy, it doesn't annoy me when I see people like say like, oh, all men are terrible. And I'm like, is it all of us? Like, well, no, it's not all. Then don't say all. Say some men are terrible. It's not hard to write the word some. It's one extra fucking letter. It goes both ways. You don't like it when someone stereotypes, whoever you support, but you're cool with stereotyping the other way around. Like, I don't think all Southern people are racist hillbillies. It might be hillbillies, not all racist. I'm kidding. But I definitely don't, I don't like that. It's stupid to paint everyone with the same brush. Goes the same way, lefties don't do it, and righties don't do it. But the fucking right, man, their shit is just so fucking funny. You can't say anything anymore. People try to cancel you. Oh, they want to hurt your livelihood. They want to, there was a Dairy Queen in Chicago that had a Paul Vallis for mayor sign. And there was people being like, well, I don't want to go to this Dairy Queen anymore. And then I remember seeing people who were Vallis supporters who are most likely conservative being like, oh, that's fucking bullshit. You won't do this. And then those same people now are upset that Bud Light had a different can. Like, what the? And by the way, I'm pretty sure their local liquor store was even selling that can. Right? I think your little fucking road stop liquor store, whatever the fuck, your middle of nowhere Circle K, wherever the fuck you go to buy your shit, your Casey's General Store probably didn't opt to sell the transgender can there. That's my guess. All right, I've ranted enough about that fucking shit. It's just insane to me. I had the joy of following a car today. You ever get behind a car in traffic and the car, like you're second, you're at the light. It's a red light. There's a car in front of you. And you're just hoping, I hope they're good. I hope they're good off the green. I hope when it's green, they're ready because I'm in a hurry. I hope they're ready to go. Hope they're not one of those people checking their phone at every fucking stoplight. I hope they're on their A game. The car I was behind today, Toyota Corolla, looked like about a 2013, I want to say, 2012. It looked like it's pretty good shape. I haven't seen a newer Corolla. I feel like Corollas, Toyota Camrys and Corollas, you feel like they're always old when you see them for the most part. I could be wrong about that, though. And I was behind him, and I'm like, this guy is on it. Every green, boom. And I almost wanted to pull up alongside him, roll down the window and be like, sir, you have been a pleasure to drive behind. I mean, my God. Everything I could want in a captain. Are you a manager at your job? Are you a leader? Are you a CEO? Are you you drive a better car if you're a CEO, but are you some kind of boss? If you're not in a leadership position, then this is what's truly wrong with this country. Because if I owned a company and I found out I had an employee who was that courteous in the world of traffic and just on his game, green light, go, yellow light, powering through, red light, stopping, and even occasionally letting people go through too. That's another thing. When you're approaching a red and you see a car coming out, don't fucking get up to the red. Be like, oh, you could turn out of your thing because I'm not going anywhere anyway. So I'll let you go through. That was this type of guy. I should have taken down his license plate and looked him up. I did not get to pull up alongside him, though. I would have loved to have done that. Next time I'm going to. Next time I'm behind such an amazing person, I got to let them know. Because then they're going to feel better about their day. And then they're going to continue that. Every time they get in the car, they're going to think about me being like, hey, man, you're fantastic. You're a phenomenal driver. You're a good person. I can tell you're a great person. Hey, wherever you're going, go with a smile because know in your heart that you're amazing. And I want all of you guys to know in your heart that you're amazing too. Thank you for listening to the Joe Kilgallon Podcast. It's been a lot of fun talking to you guys. Big news on the horizon as always. Thanks for listening. And sorry, this one came out late again, but you guys are an amazing group and I hope you have a good rest of your week. All right. Cheers.